All right, so there is our heading 1. Now in a real project, for example, let's say you are creating a article space on your website. In an article, you will have main heading and then multiple subheadings. For example, you can have a main heading like that, H1, and then you may have subheadings like H2 and H3. And that is good for search engine optimization as well, which you will learn a bit later. So search engine optimization is also important for your web pages because you want your web page to be found by Google or any other search engines when people search for a similar content. You want your website to appear, right? And that is called search engine optimization. If your page is well optimized for SEO, then that can show up on the search results as well. So let's see how we can write those headings. Now we can try H2. Now to autocomplete, you can just type H2 and hit tab key on your keyboard and that will autocomplete. For some reason, if it doesn't autocomplete in your VS Code editor, I will show you in the next lesson how you can install a plugin that can help you autocomplete your code. All right. So if that doesn't work for you, you can start with the opening bracket, H2, close, and then that will autocomplete. This happens by default with VS Code. All right, so here also I'm just going to copy paste this text. So you can Command C to copy, or you can just right click and copy and then paste. You can see Command C, Command V, the shortcuts you can see here. So Command C on Mac, Control C on Windows. Let's copy that and paste here using Command V. Let me write some other headings as well. So H3, paste that, H4, paste, H5, paste, and then H6. So we have 6 types of heading in HTML, all the way from H1 to H6. All right, so let's give it a try. Come here and reload your page. You already know how to open your HTML page, right? So you just click and drag in your browser. Reload, and you see we have the headings all the way from 1 to heading 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Let's also write paragraph. Paragraph is one of the most common thing you will write in your HTML. So you can write P, and then here you can write some text. For example, hello world. Save, come back here, give it a reload, and you see you get the paragraph as well. Now I have yet another plugin that will help me generate the dummy text. You may not have this plugin yet, obviously. I will show you in the next lesson how you can install this plugin. For example, if I have that plugin installed, I can just type lorem, hit tab on your keyboard, and then that will give me this dummy text, which will be very useful when you are developing a new website. All right, so let's see how this looks on the page. Come here, give it a reload, and you see we have got the headings and we have got the paragraph. Beautiful. Let me show you how you can install plugins in your VS Code. Now, when you open VS Code by default, you may also see this sidebar. Now, I can show and hide that by using Command 2. That will show, Command 2 again, and that will hide. Now, for the sidebar, I can do Command 1 to show, Command 1 to hide. All right, so you can use shortcut to toggle, which can be really helpful. So here, if you go here, this is where you can install extensions. So you can find the extensions from VS Code Marketplace and you can install. So if I click here, if I type prettier, you will see it comes up. So this is the one I already have it installed. That's why you don't see the install button. Otherwise you would see that. Okay, so you can click here and then install. Because I already have it installed, you see it's uninstalled. And what this does, it will auto format your code whenever you're writing HTML, CSS, JavaScript. This is the reason why when I type something here, I just have to do P and hit tab, and that will open and close the tags for me. And the prettier extension helps you format your code. For example, if you have extra spaces, when you hit save, it just brings it back to where it should be. For example, if I use P lorem, when it is generated in one long line, but as soon as I hit save, Command S, you see it auto formats my code. That's the beauty of using Prettier. So that's a really useful plugin, Prettier. Install that, and then the next one I used here to generate this dummy text, I use this lorem ipsum. This is the plugin. This is also already installed. Once you install, you may need to restart your editor, but that's all you need to do. You can use that to generate the dummy text. If you type just lorem and hit tab, that will give you this text. Now if you want a longer text, you can also pass lorem and let's say 1000, and that will give me the 1000 words long article here with the dummy text, which can be really helpful during the development of your website. Now there are many other useful plugins you can find here, including the theme of your editor. Let me show you that as well. By the way, once you are done here, you can just click here to go to your Files Explorer. All right, now if you like to use shortcuts like me, you can always do Command Shift E for the File Explorer. You see, when you hover over, you see the shortcuts as well. Command Shift E. Now on Windows that will be a little different, probably Control Shift E. Now you can see all these shortcuts here as well. Now if you don't have the sidebar open, I can show and hide using Command 2 or Control 2. You can also go here, View Command Palette, Command Shift P shortcut. You can always use that, and from there also you can install extension, install the themes, and so on. All right, so I can use Command Shift P shortcut, or I can just go here, View Command Palette, and from there you can click to again go back to the extensions here to install an extensions. Now let's say you want to change the appearance of your code editor. I'm using a dark theme at the moment. Now if you want to change, you can always do that from here, View Command Palette, or you can use Command Shift P shortcut, and then you can use up and down arrow keys. So let me go to color theme. Now if you don't find that, you can also type color. All right, and then click here. And now you see all these themes I'm using, I already have them installed. You may have few options, but you will also see few themes. To give them a try, you can use up and down arrow keys. Now if I choose, you see when I choose this theme, the appearance changes. When I go to some other, the appearance changes. You see, these are different themes. Some are light themes, some are dark theme. You can also search here to install a brand new theme. For example, let's say material theme, and you see this theme is already installed in my editor. Now this one is not, so you can give it a try by going there, look at the preview. Some of them they have this such preview, and then you can just install. For example, let's try this one, and you see immediately once I install, the color changes. So I'm not going to use this, so I'm just going to hit escape. But that's how you can choose different themes for your editor as well. And if you want to have a look at the VS Code Marketplace, you can always visit VS Code Marketplace, and you see a list of extensions here. For different programming languages, there are different plugins, different extensions available. We will try some of them as we continue with the course as well. So this is how you can customize your editor with different extensions, different themes to suit your coding requirements and your appearance preference. Alright, so we have the HTML page here, but we're not actually following the rule of creating HTML page. And the rule is you need to always have a document type on top, also known as doc type. So let me just go on top, click anywhere, and just hit enter. So here what you want to do is first you want to have doc type. Now on VS Code you will get this snippet that automatically you can use by typing this exclamation mark and hit tab. Alright, so you get that automatically, but if you don't get it, you can manually type here. You just need to be careful you don't make any typos here, but you can either use that or manually type. But with VS Code you get this snippet by default. First thing you do is create a document type, also known as doc type, and doc type is HTML. And then you have the HTML tag, starting HTML tag and ending HTML tag, and on the starting tag you can see the language also written, that's EN, English. And then inside HTML you have the head section and you have the body section, and inside the body section you should write all your HTML. So everything we have here you can cut and move inside body. Alright, so this is the proper HTML document. Starts with the doc type and then HTML, opening and closing tags, and then inside you have two sections, head section and the body section. So most of the time we will be working in the body section. However, head section is also important, especially for search engine optimization. Now, for example, you see on the head section, we have a viewport. This makes sure your HTML page appears properly in different screen size, whether it's a mobile screen, whether it's a bigger screen, laptop. To make sure it displays properly, you want to make sure you have that. And then you have the title as well. So this will be again useful for SEO. So at the moment, once you have that, all right, so once you have that proper HTML, come here and reload the page, you will notice something changed here. At the moment, you see the file name index.html, but if I reload, you see document. Why is that? That's because now our HTML has the head section, and in the head section you can have title, meta description, and other meta elements, which we will cover a bit later. All right, so most useful one is title and meta description. So name, description, content. You can write the description. This is HTML and CSS learning page. Let's change the title as well. So learning HTML, let's change that, and then come here and give it a reload. You will notice that changes, and then you can also right click and view the page source as well. So you can do that as well. And if you do that, whatever code you wrote, the HTML code is actually here. You can see that. That means you can go to any websites on the internet and you can just right click to view the source code as well, the HTML code. Not everything. For example, the programming languages are used to generate the HTML. You don't see that, but HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that is used in the client side, all that code you will be able to see. And you see we have the description as well. So this title and description quite important for SEO. Again, we will cover that bit later. So this is how you create a proper HTML document. Now, this additional information you can always refer to. The one of the most popular website is W3 Schools on Google. W3 Schools HTML, and you see we get a lot of information, a lot of reference while you are working in your project. For example, we learned about headings, we learned about paragraphs. Next, we will learn about styling, how to style, give them a different color, and there is a lot more, right? So this is a good site that you can use for reference while you're learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript.